Alright, so we're going to be installing the microphone now. We're going to be putting it up here by this. Let me go ahead and just tilt that to the side. We're going to peel off the tape. And you can actually stick these onto here. Just like that. And then you take the wire. We're going to reach up here. We're going to pull down on the headliner a little bit. You don't want to pull too hard. Just enough to kind of get your wire up in there. I like to leave a little slack and tuck that at the end, just like that. And then once you get to the A-pillar right here, some of them will have a little trim piece here with a bolt behind it, so make sure you check for that. Otherwise, you can go ahead and pull down the weather stripping. If you just get a little bit of it like that, pull straight down. There is also sometimes some rubber in here that will get stuck to your hands and kind of stain everything, so be careful of that. This one doesn't have it, so we're lucky. And all you gotta do is just pull back here. It'll come back a little bit. There's a little plastic piece in here that keeps it in place. We're not gonna worry about that since we don't need the whole A-pillar off. We just mainly need to get this wire behind it. And then one thing to also check for is this one does have the airbags here, so you want to make sure you run this tip underneath the airbags. You don't want to go over it, or else if the airbag goes off, you're going to be ripping a cable and throwing cable around with the airbag. It's not a very safe thing to do. So now we've got it all tucked up in here. We're just going to run it below the airbag. Now that we've got that in place, you want to make sure your wire is not touching any clips or anything like that. You don't want to pinch it. Once it's free of those, you can see I've got plenty of slack here. It's not being held by anything. It's not pinched. That's exactly what we need. And then we're going to go ahead and swap to this side. Alright, so now that we got the weather stripping down, we've also pulled this side trim panel here so we can have access into here. They typically just pop right off. It's around 4 or 5 clips. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drop this down. And we're just going to tuck this all underneath here, and then we're going to follow it with the weather stripping. You want to hold it in place as you follow it, just to make sure it stays up in there, and the weather stripping is actually going to hold it in place. You can also tuck the bottom of it around the corner at the bottom of the A-pillar to kind of hold it in place. Then you just rub your hand along the weather stripping, it'll tuck it into place. You get to a corner like this, and you're just going to look for any opening in the plastic that you can get to. So we're going to go to this one back here. Got a nice hole there to go through. Also, when you're running it through this area right here, you want to make sure you don't get into any spots like this that are made for clips. Otherwise, if you run through one of those, the clip's just going to pinch your wire and cut it. Now that we've got it in here, straight through to the glove box. Very simple on this one. And now we've got a microphone at the glove box. We'll plug that in. There's your microphone installed. And we've got it right up here. It's all black as well, so it blends in pretty well. From the driver's seat, it's going to be very hard to even see.